Hello, good morning, and welcome back, my dear students. So, today we are going to start with a new and interesting topic, useful and harmful microbes. This is the chapter of Science 2. So, students, let's begin. Students, let's have a look on learning objectives of this module. So, we are going to learn about useful microorganisms, lactobacilli and rhizobium. Students, let's understand the basic thing of this. As you all know that the living thing on this planet is made up of a single celled or multicellular. Some microorganisms are harmful as well as some are useful. Student, as you all know that microbes are present everywhere. Students, as you all know that a single cell from a single existing cell, the second new cells are formed. This only happens when the organism is multicellular. When the organism is single cell, that is unicellular, made up of one cell, the entire process occurs in a single cell. Majorly, these microorganisms are unicellular, but some are multicellular as well. Student, you all know that microbes are present everywhere. For example, milk can be converted to curd, buttermilk and cheese with the help of microorganisms or microbes, that is useful microorganism. As I told you, they are present everywhere. In the air, microbes are present in the air. On land. In water. Microorganisms are also present in the fruits, in the wastewater, in the sewage water. Even microorganisms are present in the plants, that is good microorganism, nitrogen fixation microorganisms, which gives growth and maintenance to the plant. So microorganisms are even present in the plants. In the animals. And lastly, even in the human body. Students, microbes are also useful to prepare, pickle, animal food. But some microorganisms are harmful. Like microbes are also harmful for human or animal body, that is they can show some allergic reaction to the human body or animal body. Even they have a harsh effect on us, like on human body. So student, microbes are divided into two categories, useful microbes and harmful microbes. So students, let's recall some of the questions. What is meant by microbes? The living organism which cannot be seen with the naked eyes, but those that are all around us and are called microbes. What are the characteristics of microbes? Students, microorganisms are the smallest organisms on the earth. In fact, the term microorganism literally means microscopic organism. Microorganism can be composed of prokaryotic or eukaryotic cells. Prokaryotic means, student, a single cell, but that is also fully not developed. And eukaryotic may be a single cell or a multicell, or they may be single celled or multicellular organisms. Examples of microorganisms include algae, fungi, protozoa, bacteria, and viruses. How did you observe microorganisms? Microbes can be seen under compound microscope. If drops of fresh buttermilk are added on the slide and stained with appropriate stain, lactobacilli bacteria can be seen. Fungus growing on stale food can also be observed under microscope. Students, let us try this activity. Smear a drop of fresh buttermilk on a glass slide, stain it with methylene blue and put a cover slip over it. Observe the smear under the 10x objective of a compound microscope and then with the more powerful 60x objective. Did you notice the blue rod shaped organism moving around? They are lactobacilli, a kind of bacteria. They are minute and rectangular in shape. Lactobacilli are anaerobic bacteria, that is, they can produce energy without the use of oxygen. So student, we had seen lactobacilli bacteria, okay, which is present in buttermilk. Now, how is yogurt made from milk? What happens exactly during in this process? So student, the lactobacilli, which is a microbes, okay, useful microbes, convert lactose, the sugar in the milk, okay, this lactobacilli is already present in the milk. It is going to convert the lactose, the sugar in the milk, into lactic acid. In what it is going to convert? Into lactic acid. This process is called fermentation. As a result, the pH of milk decreases. Okay, as soon as the lactobacilli convert the lactose into lactic acid, the pH of the milk is going to be decreased, and because of this pH decrease, there is a coagulation of milk protein. Coagulation means collection, okay, collection of a milk proteins. Thus milk proteins are separated from other constituent of milk, okay, there is a separation. This is what happens when milk changes into yogurt. Yogurt has a specific sour taste due to lactic acid. The low pH destroys harmful microbes present in the milk. So, you have seen how lactobacilli work from milk. It worked to convert the milk into yogurt. Now, what are the process involved during this yogurt production? So, student, milk products, there's a mixing, then there will be heat treatment at 90 degree Celsius, which removes oxygen, kills harmful bacteria and changes milk protein. Then it is cooled to 40 degree Celsius. After heating, it is being cooled. Now, after cooling, best temperature for growing yogurt bacteria, that is 40 degree Celsius. Then yogurt bacteria added, that is, ferment milk, sugar, lactose into lactic acid. Give yogurt its acid taste. Then fermentation for 6 hours. After this, there is a storage tank at 4.5 degrees Celsius. This slows down further bacterial fermentation and this results into a yogurt. Students, now use your brain power. Student, why do doctor advise you to have yogurt or milk, buttermilk if you have indigestion or abdominal discomfort? Think student, think. Yes, yogurt and buttermilk are easier for digestion. The lactobacilli content is higher in yogurt. As I told you, these lactobacilli can kill the harmful bacteria like Clostridium in the alimentary canal and help to improve our immunity. Yogurt also has acidic pH and thus it can kill many microbes which could otherwise enter through milk. Therefore, doctors advise us to have yogurt or buttermilk in case of indigestion or abdominal discomfort. Sometimes yogurt becomes bitter and froths up. Why does this happen, students? The culture of lactobacilli with which the yogurt is made may be spoiled sometimes. Instead of lactobacilli, there is a growth of harmful Clostridium in such cultures. The pH also becomes more acidic. Such yogurt becomes bitter and also shows frothing. So student, instead of a harmful useful lactobacilli, there is a development of a harmful Clostridium bacteria. So such yogurt should be avoided. Which different milk products are obtained at home by fermentation of the cream from the milk? So the creamy yogurt, buttermilk, lassi, yogurt drink, butter, creams, Shrikhand, condensed milk, etc. can be obtained by fermentation of the cream of milk at home. Do you know what is meant by probiotic yogurt and other foodstuffs that are popular nowadays? So useful microbes like lactobacilli are added to these edibles. Such edibles are healthy because they kill the harmful bacteria like Clostridium in the alimentary canal and help to improve our immunity. Student, Clostridium is the harmful bacteria which causes food poisoning. So, the product which is available in a market nowadays, for example, a commonly probiotic Yakult is available, which is good. Presence of a lactobacilli is there. So, it kills the harmful bacteria Clostridium. Now let us see some of the uses of lactobacilli. Various milk products like yogurt, buttermilk, ghee, cheese, Shrikhand, etc. can be obtained by fermentation of milk. Lactobacilli fermentation is useful for large-scale production of cider, cocoa, pickles of vegetables, etc. As you can see in the image. Lactobacilli and some other useful microbes taken together are used to treat abdominal discomfort. Leavened fodder offered to domestic cattle like cows and buffaloes is fodder fermented with the help of lactobacilli. The lactobacilli fermentation process is used to make wine and some types of bread. Now student, let us see next useful bacteria, that is Rhizobium bacteria. is also known as a symbiotic bacteria. Student, the word symbiotic means interaction between two different organisms living in close physical association, typically to the advantage of both. Okay, or you can say a mutually beneficial relationship between different people or group, that is they are in mutual beneficial with the plant. Rhizobium bacteria are usually present in the roots of the leguminous plants. Leguminous means proteinaceous plant. Now student, let's try this small activity. Take a plantlet of fenugreek, groundnut or any other bean. Sterilize it with a 3 to 5% solution of hydrogen peroxide, that is H2O2. Afterwards, keep it in a 70% solution of ethyl alcohol for 4 to 5 minutes. Clean the roots with sterile water and take thin sections of the root nodules. Select good section and place it in a solution of safranin for 2 to 3 minutes. Place the stained section on a glass slide, cover it with a cover slip and observe it under the compound microscope. The pinkish rod-shaped organisms are the Rhizobium bacteria. Student, let's have a look on role and importance of Rhizobium. Rhizobia living in root nodules supply nitrates, nitrites and amino acid to that plant and in exchange get energy in the form of carbohydrates from it. Once again I am repeating student that rhizobia, what does it provide? It provide nitrates. It gives nitrates, nitrites and amino acid which is good for plant. Okay, act as a fertilizer for the plant for their growth and maintenance. Okay, but it gives them to the plant and in return it gets carbohydrate from the plant. Such a mutually beneficial relationship is called symbiosis. As I told you, rhizobia produce nitrogenous compounds from atmospheric nitrogen. However, for this process of nitrogen fixation, they need leguminous plants like beans, sweet pea, soybean, etc. as a host. Beans and pulses are rich in proteins due to the nitrogenous compounds made available by rhizobia. Students, after harvesting a leguminous crop, the leftover roots and other plant parts are deliberately dumped in farm soil to maintain its bacterial population. The use of rhizobium has helped to reduce the use of chemical fertilizer and thereby their adverse effects. It has also helped to reduce expenses on fertilizers and thus works to the benefit of the farmers. So because of this rhizobium, the chemical fertilizers has been reduced. Students, nowadays seeds are coated with rhizobial solution or powder before sowing. After sowing, rhizobia enter the plantlets. This is called rhizobial inoculation. This experiment This experiment has helped in the supply of nitrogen to cereal and other crops beside leguminous crops such as green peas, red lentils, mung beans, chickpea, soya bean, etc. Now student, I would like to tell you, take a pause during this and try to complete the following activity. Okay, pause the video for a second and write this question into your notebook and try to complete it. Boiling of milk, then what will be A, then what will be B, after A there will be adding strains of bacteria, then what will be the B, and then proteins. So student, now you can check your answer whether you had completed correctly or not. So boiling of milk, then the A will be cooling boiled milk to warm temperature. Then adding strains of bacteria, then B will be formation of lactic acid. And lastly there will be protein. Points to remember. The lactobacilli convert lactose, the sugar in milk, into lactic acid. Yogurt has specific sour taste due to lactic acid. Lactobacilli fermented is useful for the large production of cider, coca, pickles of vegetables, etc. Rhizobia living in root nodules supply nitrates and amino acid to the plant and in exchange get energy in the form of carbohydrates from it. The use of rhizobium has helped to reduce the use of chemical fertilizers and thereby their adverse effects. So student, I would like to give you a small assignment based on this module. Try to complete it into your rough book. These are: write the uses of lactobacilli, what is rhizobial inoculation, what do you mean by symbiosis, define fermentation, and lastly write down the process of milk conversion into yogurt or curd. Students, so here I will stop. In the next upcoming video, we are going to cover some more topics of this chapter. I hope you all had understood this. So student, if you like my video and you want me to make such an educational video, please do like, share and subscribe my YouTube channel. Till then students, take care. Thank you.